welcome to Shareholders of a Better World, brought to you by TBLI Group. At TBLI Group, we have an established reputation as an organization dedicated to building the ecosystem of global sustainability and impact investing. We're doing this through educating, advising, and facilitating transactions in global sustainability and impact business, as well as capital solutions for private companies, family offices, and fund groups. For nearly 25 years, TBLI Group has created a vertically integrated ecosystem of education to action through TBLI conferences and TBLI consulting. More about our company can be found at tbligroup.com. This webinar is brought to you by TBLI Foundation, which hosts educational learning experiences dedicated to a better planet. Through the foundation, we build sustainable communities by sharing the people and the experiences making a difference to so many of our lives around the world. Our weekly podcasts bring impact thought leaders that are doing and not only chatting. Now let me introduce my guest today.
Good afternoon from our studio in Amsterdam. For those of you that are not familiar with how the system works, if you have a comment, just type it in the lower right-hand corner. If you want to applaud, just use the emoji for applauding, or if you find a brilliant idea or funny, there are 3 emojis under the at the lower right-hand corner. If you need to send a private message to someone, just move your mouse over their name and a window will pop up. So I'm really honored today because we have a TBLI hero, a very dear friend, and actually one of the few true impact investors that I know, because a lot of people just talk about doing that, but Luca Rancilio has been doing that. He has a really unique story. So I'm going to let Luca briefly tell his story of how he went from the grandson of the inventor of the Espresso machine to a family office focused on impact as an entrepreneurial investor. I'll go on mute. And Luca, welcome. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you to everyone. I run a single family office called Rancilio Cube. We know each other such a long time, but if you Google my surname Rancilio, you will find out my, as I say, previous life. It means I've been for more than 20 years in a espresso machine company called Rancilio. As you said, as you wrote, Rancilio is one of the pioneers of the market, and the coffee machine, the espresso, is an invention of the beginning of the last century, which some pioneers, my grandfather Roberto in 1927 was one of these, started the market. People normally think that the espresso is an invention from Naples, from Sicily, from the south of Italy, but not. The invention is the machine to do it, and some guys, my grandfather Roberto was one of these, in the area of Milano, Lombardy, and the area of Milano, they started. He started in 1927. Imagine that after the Second World War, the idea to bring espresso and cappuccino to bars and restaurants where people normally they drink wine, they sleep, they eat, but there was not a fresh coffee, developed. And he carried on the company again. Also, his 3 sons, including my father, they carry on the company between after the Second World War. But unfortunately for them and for me, they all died between the 60s, and my father was the last one of the second generation. He died in 1991 when I was only 20 years old. Of course, Rancilio was not Tesla today, was a medium-sized Italian company selling all over the world. But of course, in particular for me, starting with no experience in a company like this was very, very difficult at the beginning. Difficult, but maybe at the ideas and the activity to develop some innovation, of course, in a tradition company that became the company became quite big. And after a long story of 24 years, in which especially we acquired a company of fully automatic espresso machine in 2006, 2007, and we merged the two. In 2013, we sold Rancilio, the family and the private equity Italian fund. We were co-shareholder, but the family was major shareholder to a giant player of food equipment. Rancilio is a kind of brand of institution or company. Normally, Italian people they don't step out, because it's your brand, your story. But you have to connect a little bit my personal story to the journey that started so young, maybe so fast. I arrived to a moment in which I personally need not only different experience, but also a new challenge for myself. So we sold it, and me, my sister, and my mother, in a very familiar approach, we established Rancilio Cube to do a family office activity. So very, very simple. But I never heard the word family office before. I never heard before venture capital, impact investing, or liquidation preference, for example. All words totally brand new to me. Imagine a person 43, 44 years old exiting a company, maybe not that young, to start the same experience. I didn't want the same experience, and not too old to complete stop the idea to develop something. In the middle, as my life always been. So from nothing against, but from the financial institution, you can imagine, typically banks. For me, it was very hard to find something, I'm telling in a human words, interesting. Outside for a moment, the return, the IRR, the risk, the liquidity, but in general terms, because I think I'm a curious person, for me it was more easy to go addressing interest to some part of the portfolio, let's call it like this, that normally for especially for Italian people is very uncommon to develop in a convinced way. Make a window, for example, about the impact investing. I'm not honestly very, very strong in putting the categories. Okay, I'm, for example, the first investor of this company, planting trees, Freedom. Okay, I didn't invest in Freedom starting from the idea, okay, this is the impact, that is not impact. No, it's a company that I like so much. But in general, in Italy, people decline these, develop these, degrade these to, okay, that's philanthropy. Okay. In my personal life, in my personal activity in a company, innovation, let me call it in a very wide open definition, it's always a good investment. Anytime I invested in innovation in my previous company, Rancilio, was good. Anytime I seated on the status quo, I leave things as they are, that was difficult for me. To close the first part of the presentation, now we have a portfolio, an hybrid portfolio of 74 investment we call direct, but of course in which we are co-investors, like Triton, for example, and a lot of 32 funds. Okay, so for some people this is strange to use money from selling a company of tradition and going in the opposite direction. Okay, maybe that's strange, but for me, honestly, was a natural, very natural approach.
I have a couple of observations. Would you invest in an espresso machine maker now?
No, it's that's strange. That's the first question everyone does. Why do you sell it, and would you come back to? But after a long journey, 24 years in the same company, let's say, I don't want to be too dramatic, but saving something that my father left to me in such a terrible way, my grandfather found it. I did all what I can, So my journey was finished there. I didn't sell Rancilio. I don't want to touch this argument in a rude way, but I didn't sell Rancilio for money. Okay, good money, nothing to say. But it was not the idea, something less or something more. It's like a part of a journey that is finished. When you feel like the coach of a soccer team won everything in a team. Let's hope also that Mr. Mancini will won next Sunday, the European Championship. Maybe you need something else too. And honestly, my personality is not really strictly related to a product. I'm not a person of product. It was very hard also for me to understand exactly how an espresso machine works. And maybe it was the lucky of the company also to have a person, not to talk good about me, that can say, okay, guys, let's acquire a company of fully automatic. Let's open up a branch subsidiary to serve big chains in the US. So the mentality to be a little bit horizontal was, so at the moment, more than espresso machine came to me, a lot of roasteries. That is also ridiculous because roasters were our client, our customers in Rancilio, and they treat espresso machine like slaves with prices. And now possibility to invest. That's also, life is strange, So.
And you, having known you and seen how you operate, you always said, I'm not an investor or a venture capitalist. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a worker, because I always worked. I mean, I would go to Alaska, to the tundra, to get the money from the espresso machine guy who still owes us money. You travel. You've done a lot of jobs. You worked quite a lot within your family business. But sometimes when I was always surprised that if you met an entrepreneur, traditionally VCs or investors, they're taking 6, 9 months, 12 months due diligence, and maybe 1% are investing. And you'll meet somebody over coffee, okay, this sounds good. Or you say, no, it's not for me. You're very quick in your decision, almost intuitive. How are you able to do that?
Well, I don't know if I'm able. What is sure that some skills that I had in a company, for example, to try to recognize talent, in a different source is the same. I want to mention Tridon, for example, that is very plastic now. Okay, they had some figures, They had some numbers to show when I met them in 2016. Not the numbers of today. And what they have people, they have vision, and also they have that feeling between us that you can trust them, they can trust me, and we can build it up something together. And it's very, very, that's strange, very, very similar to a manager in the company or a distributor on the other side of the world. Now imagine a distributor on the other side of the world, you have to give him espresso machine with credit. It's the same to invest in, maybe the fund is regulated somewhere, hopefully. But the distributor in Venezuela, of course, is not regulated. In that dynamic, there are, of course, when we turn to being myself, and I want to clarify before, I'm not doing the job myself of a seed investor fund. We are a family, so we invest in what we like, always using the angle of other investor with us. But it seems to me that also big financial institutions are doing the same, But in my case, I try to disintermediate and to create a relationship, if possible, direct with entrepreneurs, with fund managers, and it's strange again how the dynamic is clearly the same like before, 2 weeks ago, I met a very important person of an Italian bank and told me, how you can have 100 position in venture capital, 32 are funds? How you can have a portfolio like this, like Robert, in a certain way, telling you are you telling the truth? No? And I react like, well, I worked on it, like before, like connecting distributors all over, try to create opportunities is more or less the same. Of course, maybe don't want to talk about me, even my story, my family story, not mine, it's also very understandable, a nice story, easy to have a relationship with. I'm talking about entrepreneurs, I'm talking about companies. I honestly didn't know 8 years ago, 9 years ago, that there was such a space also for me to develop something. Imagine entered, no problem to say, entered some institution, some bank as a client, and exiting like I'm doing by myself something that is also more nice. And more nice for me is both something intellectually okay for myself. Everyone in the crowd, you can say, okay, you're talking about planting trees. Yeah, in general, I'm talking about doing something that is an investment, good. You can decline for the planet, for the people, and also with profit. Mm-hmm. Also, I live of this. And for me, I'm in Italy, It's very easy to escape from the idea this is philanthropy, because everyone is saying this is a desert. Everyone say that is philanthropy. So if someone is doing this, trying to do in a professional way, on a larger scale, it's very visible that you are doing something different. Hopefully, makes sense, because if not, my sister will kill me, not fire me. My sister Silvia, that gave me trust, will kill me. But at the moment, this idea works in many investments we have in funds. Innovation pays, impact pays in terms of betting on the future, not only on yesterday.
And I mean, it's a family business. It's a family office. You're actually the family running it, which is unusual. Usually family offices hire external people who are just money managers. So you're running it with your family, with some colleagues and some assistant. How do you deal with the fact is, no, we don't want to invest in this, Luca? Why are you doing that? Because they may not always be on the same page.
My managers,
No, your family. You're like your sister and your mother.
My family is a question of trust. We maybe it's easy because we were there when it was so tough at the beginning, when we lose, and everyone lose, sometimes everyone. I never met a person. I wrote an article some months ago, in LinkedIn. Unfortunately, it's in Italian, about mistakes, In Milano, everyone is talking only about success, But that was possible. That's not believable, That's not believable. So anytime we had mistakes, we were there together. So it's quite easy for me to stay with my sister, with my mother, no problem from the side of responsibility. Maybe we'll talk later about enlarging a little bit the co-investment platform. I like so much the idea, and I'm trying to, to develop a team, professional team, to do something like before in Rancilio. One of the person, Massimo, is in this chat. That's maybe the most difficult part to me, because when you are all your life managing by yourself something, no, to give space, I don't know if I let you see the point, no, it's quite difficult. That's quite difficult. And maybe again, yes, I'm not doing espresso machine anymore, no, but in different sources, I'm connecting the world, like distributor, funds, and investment opportunity now. I'm disintermediating, like before, open up subsidiary. And again, I'm managing something, if you think, no? I'm managing something. Of course, it's not a product to sell. Maybe it's an investment to buy, no? Let's say like this. But it seems, I don't know if you agree, Robert, with me. But, and this maybe is connected to my hopefully skill to recognize talent and how a person is his own DNA. No, I never met a person at 40, 50 years old. I'm 51. Totally change DNA. Can change a country, can change job, can change a relationship, maybe. No, but your DNA, my DNA, is the one of a curious person based in a small city in Milano, no, close to Milano, but from there trying to connect the world anytime, no. Also the curiosity to go investing in something that is for certain person at a limit, like planting trees, education, biotech, no. For me, it's quite natural if I'm doing the entrepreneur, following what my heart is telling to me. No? If I'm following something else, okay, it's DNA of someone else.
And you use the term a lot, to disintermediate.
Yeah.
So what do you mean by that?
I mean that nothing against, no, but when I entered as a client, some big financial institution, I'm telling something that in this crowd, they say, well, Luca, you're silly, no? It was clear, but imagine that I was not before, no? I imagine that this financial institution, they have for a commission, no, for profit, but they have everything to show to people, no? The possibility to invest is already accessible to everyone, no? But this is not, you know better than me, no? For many reasons, because someone is protecting something, or for sizes, or for the risk, or for what do you want, no? Some theses you have to cultivate. For example, from Italy, it's very, very difficult to have access to some qualities, possibility to invest in venture capital, in impact investing, no? So I'm trying to, it seems to me like I'm not investing, I'm doing a journey. I'm doing a journey in which, again, I'm taking the plane when it was possible, now a little bit better, was going there, knowing people, starting a relationship, and this is a disintermediation. No? In Italy, it's very clear because everything is already imported in Italy. We arrive to Italy, honestly, is something very related to the community, no? Banks, real estate, private equity, no? Maybe I already told you, I started this phase of impact investing, no? Because I acquired some loan, big for my family size, of an education note called Prodigy Finance in 2013, okay? And I was in a room and I said, well, that's fantastic. You say that you are giving credit to an Indian student that is at Harvard, okay? And it repays me with a percentage. But that is why I sold Rancilio, no? I can help someone that I can clearly see as the eye of the tiger, no? Is a Rocky in himself also, no? To study it, to repay me back, no? And a guy, a banker in the room, look at me and say, Luca, you are an impact investor, no? And I think, Robert, what I am? I check it in Wikipedia, and in 13, maybe already now, designated the translation in Italian of impact investing. No? I suggest your crowd, if there are some Italians, let's translate impact investing in Italian, and let's take it out that definition of social, of philanthropy, no? Okay, let's focus the idea that investing in the future, in innovation, in something that is saving the world is always a good opportunity for everyone.
As long as I met you, I mean, you're quite astute on trying to choose well, but money did never seem to be your driver. So what is your driver?
Well, money was not my driver, even because my family, my mother in particular, with my father, I spent such a few times, no? In my life, there was not a moment, a decision in which a little bit more money or a little bit less money was really game changer. No, was the idea to go ahead and to stay together, and a united approach. No, that was very important. Maybe it's typical of a family. Of course, we cannot be hypocrisis. No, it's need to live, but my goal, honestly, now that is more clear, is like I have access to some opportunities, and it's also clear to me that, okay, investing in education, in biotech, in climate change, has both good and good return. No, I don't want to enter the discussion more greedy, less greedy. No, it's okay for me. It's okay. No, but would you accept a less return to? That's a discussion. You know, that's the discussion to say no to do something. No, I don't know if you agree with me. The discussion: would you accept? How many times they tell me? Would you accept a less return to do more impact? Okay, guys, I want to do my journey. You know? I don't care about less or more. And as I have access to, I want to give access if possible. Do you remember? And I know everyone will laugh. That movie Forrest Gump. Forrest Gump. No, I stand up from the garden and I start running in a direction. If other people, they want to join me in a direction in which they can decide by themselves, and this that I'm an alien, no, of the financial market. This should be an approach. The approach of investing should be not anymore buying or selling. Should be more from the side of I trust someone, I want to participate the journey or not. I don't know if I let you see. It's a vision at the moment. I'm not a financial institution myself, but why not to give access to other people? In my family, examples always work it out. No? Examples always work out. If you do something, after you can show. If you just teach it, or you say you have to do like this, it's a little bit more difficult to do it.
So as the Rocky and Forrest Gump of the impact investing space, you probably meet other family offices, other investors that hear you speak, or they reach out to you and they want to better understand, to learn from you. Do you find it difficult to convince them that they should join you on the Forrest Gump trail?
Yeah, I felt you participate now to my ringle bells are ringing here. I'm al Cinque Terre.
That's okay.
You participated to my event, the Impact Park 2018, and we did it
it's
all
very good.
2017. I'm not an event manager, so we didn't. My feeling there was clearly that I was doing something quite for myself. No, how is only me, and makes me a little bit depressed right after. No, say, well, this is something that I'm only seeing the education note, or so. But from that moment till now, seems like a geological age passed. No? So now very better. Very. Everyone is talking about. Everyone wants to do. And again, it's a question of the access and the opportunity that you have. So I don't find so much difficult to tell a story like this and to say, okay, guys, with these investments, I did okay, and after everyone can do what he wants. I'm not here to sell anything. So it seems to me that something is clearly happening. No, a new generation is shifting to, as they say, to taking the power. No, very clear. Also in a country like Italy, where everything is so slow, when everything is a generational behind the other countries. If you think a generation behind our other countries, something is happening. What really will happen? Okay, how much energy will go on the table to do something in a direction? Okay, we will see. What I didn't say, I want to say to everyone, you know, I'm not vegan. I'm not an impact investor vegan. I'm a person that likes the idea to invest in education note, first investor in Freedom. I'm the chairman of Freedom since last December. For me, it's an honor to serve a company like this, no? But I'm also investing in, was an investor, the only Italian family in Lyft, the competitor of Uber. We can discuss 3 days about is Lyft an impact company or not. I accept that people say that's not impact. Okay, I accept it. No, I accept it. I'm not a vegan. I don't have a vegan approach.
What is your long-term ambition or end game for Rancilio Cube? Is it to be, have 150 investments? Is it to have various partners? Is it to just have a bigger crowd following you on your Forrest Gump journey?
I'm a corporate guy, so anything I do, even the best single investment for me is in the frame of something that has to develop as a project. No, so and this is in Italy we say gioia e dolore, bad and good, because at the moment it's very clear that this can be a regulated entity opening doors to other people, no? And it works, numbers are good, no? And many taboos are falling apart. The one is the one of liquidity. Okay, it's not liquid market maybe sometimes, but if you invest in the good companies, and especially early, people will want to invest and buy right after. So it's very clear that there is the opportunity to enlarge the platform, let's say like this. On the other side, I'm never been before the manager of other people monies, no? We are in a private meeting, more or less. I'm not scared of the responsibility, because all my life I took responsibility for my sister, no, for my mother. It's not a question of responsibility. It's maybe a question of understand if this can be my limit. What I'm telling you in a very transparent way is my limit, or there is something else. As usual, it depends on the ingredients. No, if what I'm saying can be interesting for someone in a very win-win, that's something I want to bring on the table, Robert. In my previous experience, in my company, in my life in general, everything I did was a win-win relationship, a win-win approach. Okay. And that's the other part of would like to do a next step, if there is a possibility to put mission aligned win-win situation where everyone joining the opportunity.
And would you open your family office, your investment vehicle to other families that say, I don't have the bandwidth to manage my funds, but I like what you're doing. Can I invest with you?
Yeah, we did it in 2020 before COVID once, but let's say it's a big club deal, Okay, so we did it once, but to do it again and to go on a different scale, that's the issue, no? You have to be regulated in Italy. You need a structure, and so someone say, well, but that's not the difficult part. Okay, it's not the difficult part, but I only did the other part in my life, you know? Checking people, trying to recognize talent, investing my money, managing something. The part of a financial institution, let me say in different words, you know, guys, I'm from an Espresso machine company, so you know, it's I want to take. You always say to me, Luca, you are very humble. Well, very humble. I try to put everything in a frame by which I didn't do that. Let's study before in a very precise way, in a very if it's possible. I love the idea. The space is quite empty. I don't want to bring you in my summer thinking, but space, venture capital, quality venture capital, quality impact investing in structure, something in which you don't have to only put a small ticket and risk everything, is very, very empty. In Italy is zero, but is empty also in Europe. No, everyone is trying to connect platforms. No, you was a discussion between me and you in the Netherlands 5-6 years ago. No, a lot of, but from the side of the opportunities, because maybe who is having money in the ends, typically banks, are a little bit on a old model. No, Rob wants the microphone. Mm-hmm. If I'm telling bullshit, excuse with
it's
Robert.
Okay. It's okay. I will accept Mr. Colombo, and let's see what he has to say.
So let's see.
Hey, Robert, Luca, can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can.
Excellent. I was intrigued by your comment on not investing into the espresso machine. We own another espresso machine company. We've got some interest in food, including in Italy. What was your thinking on other strategic areas? If it was non-espresso, but other beverages or food, are you have a certain great brand? Are you active in that area, or is it just something that you?
Yeah, we did an investment in
Can
a
you
fund.
just introduce yourself? Who are you?
Hi, Robert. Yeah, that's fine. I'm a director with AIAC. We're an equity group as a family office. We own 80 companies in 20 states and 24 countries.
Okay. Luca.
Yeah, we did investment in a food tech fund. We did also a direct one a couple of years ago, and for sure it's something in which we want to do more. But again, the access to good quality opportunities, as you know, is not that easy. So totally open to talk about opportunities. In this moment, we are closing a big deal in biotech, and imagine that this is really pushing my limit, because from the espresso machine to invest in a fund does biotech is not the first one. But with the right person and with the right thesis, with right institution. And normally when I say right is not how many level of middlemen they have, but how these guys are professional in doing something that change the health of people. So difficult to understand, especially for me. But when you find a situation like this, I would like to check it.
Thank you. Next one.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay. All right, Michael, we have another question for you from California.
I was in 20 in California in March, the week before COVID arrived in Italy.
Okay. Michael, you're on.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Robert. Luca, I'm doing a lot of business with a fellow Italian in Salerno, Roberto Ascione. I would imagine you know Roberto?
Roberto is a coffee roaster.
He's in the healthware business. He was the CEO of Razorfish Healthware, Publicis. He has his own company. Okay. But you mentioned 3 times early in your discussion about language, and you're talking in Italian. And the company that I founded 12 years ago is a company that enables video in one language to be in any other language. So my journey is to enable all 7.8 billion people in the world to have access to all of the knowledge in their native language on their phone, which would be an amazing impact. And it doesn't take it's everything, dealing with everything. So I'd love to talk to you about how we could help you do this, because you've mentioned already. So language and the ability to understand what you're saying obviously is a very important thing to you. I'm based in that small city called New York, just across the pond.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Michael.
So much. Thank you so much.
I want to take a couple of the questions here that we have. Aaron wanted to know, do you feel that by adding philanthropy to your business model, that it offers a sense of responsibility, reputational reward by your family and your company, and this allows you to sincerely do good for the planet? Because your focus is mainly investment, not philanthropy, correct?
Yeah. Well, I have some philanthropies. We can call it philanthropy actions, no? But at least in Italy, no? It's a Catholic country. There's a lot of philanthropy, no? Imagine that everyone is doing in a certain way philanthropy somehow, no? For me, not that now I want to teach, no? But for myself, I'm going in a direction in which the two faces, no, a return and something good has to be positive, no, nothing against. I want to step out also from the definition. That is philanthropy, this is impact, that is venture capital. Seems to me like, Robert, I don't know if the crowd agrees, that this is also a definition of our generations. No? In one generation or less, who will say, okay, that's impact investing, that's not. No? To me, people, consumers, investors, they will go in a Forrest Gump approach. They will run in a direction because they feel that is direction good for them. And let's hope that my generation was addressed by TV, that with this all internet they have, they are able to do more specific knowledge in a transparent way in what they want, where they want to put their money, and how they get back with which result and with which impact on the society. No? On the side of philanthropy, honestly, at this moment, in this part of the journey, I don't think we'll add so much to my proposal.
Adrian wanted to know, would you still invest in single projects, or do you only invest in funds, or both?
No, both. We are agnostic. We like an idea to, again was something very, very big debate with banks. No, we like the idea to have both. It's like I always say, it's like I'm doing the coach of the soccer national team. So not managing myself, no, the fund or the investment in particular. In the middle, and in the middle, it's very easy to find synergies between the two. From inside a company, you can meet people that you like. I'm talking about funds, and the opposite. Some funds, they can give you, maybe again, for me, it's quite easy because you have to think I'm from a business in which relationship are 20, 30, 50 years old with the same person. Now you give them product, they give you money, they give you a relationship with the clients in the ground, like a big coffee roaster. So the win-win situation there, and this I would like to establish, no, the idea to in my journey. I'm not talking about change. I'm not changing, Robert. I'm not democratizing anything, and I'm not changing the financial world. I'm a worker, and I'm doing my job. I hope good for me, and possible good for the people.
Mm-hmm. Melissa wanted to mention, ciao Luca, I previously called you an entrepreneur of entrepreneurs, and this seems to resonate well with you. With a portfolio of 100 plus investments, are there some entrepreneurs you choose to work closely with beyond investing? What inspires you to do so?
I didn't catch exactly the question.
The question is, are there some entrepreneurs you choose to work with closely beyond investing, more kind of collaboration on other things, and what inspires you to do so?
Well, no problem to share with the crowd, international group of advisors, Kira the Angel, Daniel from Speedy Invest, John Denniston, my senior advisor now is John. I met him in meeting in the Vatican, went to California many times. No, anytime I'm with John, I understand how Italy is beautiful for him, and now my vision is small comparing to a person like this. Was Kleiner Perkins now with ShareX, what he's doing, no? Very, very clear. So he's not an entrepreneur. I'm an investor in ShareX, but he's for sure a person I have beside me. The entrepreneur of freedom, also Federico Garcia, no? Now the company is not, is quite big like Rancilio. He's Alpha Rancilio at the moment, in 6 years, and this in Rancilio we took 100 years to do it. No, freedom is big like Rancilio, Alpha Rancilio, and for sure where I am with the guys of Freedom, with them in Florence, I have a vision, my generation, and a proposal I cannot have. No, I don't want to be too rude about my generation and myself. No, but it's clear that new ideas are a little bit easier when you are part of a group, of a generation of a new thinking. No, I like the idea, of course, to be contaminated. Maybe is a journey of contamination in many ways.
Mm-hmm. Raya wanted to know, how do you manage the amount of funds or companies that approach you, to you with their investment ideas? Because it's a lot of balls you have in the air. It's, you don't have hundreds of people working over there at Rancilio Cube. So it's quite an undertaking to manage all the deals coming in and also the deals you've already done. How do you do that?
Well, I have people. Massimo is one of these. They are more worker than what I am. No? I choose people more worker than me. She's talking about the existing portfolio or the opportunities, or both?
No, basically the deals that come to you that you do or you don't, and the deals that you've already done. It's a lot.
With the already done, I'm okay. It's a daily work. Responding at night, maybe some Americans, but I'm okay. No, with the opportunities, they come to me. Tell you a story, a little bit, an anecdote. My company, Rancilio, was sold by a bank. No, when I established Rancilio Cube, I had the idea to open up a website. Okay. In Rancilio, we had a website. I had a website. No. And they put me in a room. They say, "But why you have a website?" So I don't know. I don't know. There's no reason. We had the idea to put Rancilio Cube and a website. But now everyone will address to you opportunities to invest, no? And I replied in a very silly way, "But this is better, no?" To me, and I can say yes or no. Yeah. But you are not protected. Okay, all my life I'm not protected. No, if I should be protected to all the bad things that arrive to me, I was not here, of course. So no problem to deal in a respectful way. We try to respond to everyone else. Sometimes it's not that easy, but if someone sends me something, I'll check it and I say honestly what I think and if it's connected to our strategy.
Beata wanted to know, if you were going to start all over again from the beginning, which business would you invest all your energy?
No, sorry, if you
had to start all over again, in which business would you invest all your energy? Which is the...
Bella domanda. Well, 15 years ago, I had an health problem, very big. No, that maybe changed my life. That's the reason why I'm also. And now the idea to invest in what is saving health of people, for me, is like a mission. No, say we are always talking about how money can be useful to do something. No. In my case, to invest in biotech, in a pharmacologic solution in general, to give also to people the possibility to be treated. It's for me very unfortunate for me. I'm not a doctor, and my skills are very, very just a few. No, but if I can do it as an investor, it would be very nice to pursue.
What can this audience that's been listening live and those that will listen to the replay over the next period, what can they do to help you?
Well, if they have opportunities in space of funds, especially early growth, and with the approach to be explorers, I like to be in contact. I make you an example, very simple. We didn't invest at the moment in no fund in Africa. No? And the geographic definition, I know, is already something old. No? What do you think? Do you mean, Luca, for, let's say, African funders? No, to give like Israeli, they say Israeli funder. No. But in general, that's an angle we would like to explore a little bit more. The theses are biotech, climate change, I like it. Fintech infrastructure, that it doesn't mean new bank, but in general, I feel like today we are having a meeting by which people, they using platform, tomorrow they will pay, they will spend their life, not only money, in a very different way. No? And imagine for an Italian person, banks was when I was young, bank was a building, not neither a bank account. No, in Milano, in Italy, the bank was his own real estate heritage. No, so now it's the moment by which everything is changing paradigm from this point of view. No, it's again, I'm not a vegan. What is turning more on the side of the gambling part for me is very, very difficult also to be curious too. No, okay. I like the idea to stay, for example, cryptocurrency or things like this. We don't do anything at the moment.
Okay. Actually, the most important question for you comes from Edwin and Beata. So one wants to know how many goals will Italy win the championship, and Beata wants to know how many goals England will win the championship.
Let's make a bet, me and Beata. If Italy wins, I pay the dinner. If UK wins, I again pay the dinner because I'm Italian.
Well, I want to thank you very, very much, and I hope that your Forrest Gump community that's following behind you, even though you don't have a beard, keeps growing and growing. I will send the replay link as soon as it's finished later today to everyone. I'll send a link to Rancilio Cube if people want to engage with you. I'd like to take a group selfie of everyone who was here it will just wave to the camera, make a photo of yourself, and then I'll send you a copy of this. And I want to thank Luca very, very much.
May I show le Cinque Terre before we finish?
Please do. Take
this
a photo.
Cinque Terre this afternoon.
And thank you so much for being who you are and being straight and honest. I want to thank our entire production crew for making this webinar possible. Sam, our producer, crypto genius and ramen critic. Ricky, my absolute better half with no filter. Xi Jinping, our head of transparency and integrity. Donald Trump, our gender diversity lead and dog whisperer. Vladimir Putin, our head of conflict resolution. Jeff Bezos, our human resources and full tax compliance leader. Mark Rutte, our memory expert. And Elon Musk, our humility coach. Luca, thank you so much. This has been great. Mille grazie, and good luck Sunday.
Grazie mille. Ciao,
ciao. Thank you everyone for coming, and I'll send you the link that you can share. Stay well, and see you next week with Hazel Henderson. And if you enjoyed this, tell your friends to come the next time. I'll also send a copy of the group. Wow, a lot of people are taking the group selfie. That's unusual. Much more than I normally have them. So thank you all very, very much. And if we can do anything to help you, just reach out. You can also follow us and be updated on the latest things. If you need to contact anybody who attended or registered, you can do that in the chat area on your phone or on your desktop. So thanks again. See you soon. Stay well. Stay safe.